everybody, it's Grace. In this story, I'm going to start talking more about Stephen. I think I'm going to cross-post these kinds of videos. I already put up a little bit of an intro to videos on one channel. But I'm going to get right to it. No chronological order, just right to it. This is a story about Stephen the sociopath that I had. I don't want to say I was dating for 4.5 years. I started off as just wanting someone to go and do outdoor activities with, like camping, something I hadn't done since I was a child, like camping and fishing even I hadn't done since I was a child. And this was years ago, okay? And then we started dating. Then, not very long after, I realized this guy was a nutcase. He was a sociopath. I don't know if he was a psychopath because he was adopted by his parents. I only knew one of his parents, and I don't know if he knew. But yeah, anyway, Stephen, like I said, was at least a sociopath. I don't doubt it. And after dating him for a while, I realized that this was a man who had spent at least half of his life in prison. Okay, and he started stalking me. I don't know how long after, because I realized what he was, how he was all around, and try to break up with him. No, he wasn't going to allow that. He was going to threaten me, terrorize me, just overall terrorize me. And I'm not going to tell all the stories because no, But yeah, he terrorized me, and there were times when I just didn't know what to do. My head was pretty much messed up when somebody, was terrorizing me like that. And so I would think along lines of, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. That was not reasons why I didn't go to the police, why this happened and this happened. So we're not going to go there. Not yet. But anyway, so he stalked me, and every year, I think after the first year that I knew him, I don't know, I hadn't known him that long. I think that was when we were dating. He wanted to go to a firework display. It was 4th of July, that's why it's in my mind, partly. And he wanted to go to this firework display. Well, he just wanted to go to one that was local. No problem. That's my parking brake, by the way. Driving a standard right now. But so we went. Well, it's July in Texas, really hot, and I would never go to something like that because a lot of people in a big city suburb, not a good idea, with the bugs and the mosquitoes and all this kind of stuff. But I went, and I was charmed by this guy, and I admit it. Like I said, it was years ago, and so I was charmed and infatuated, whatever. But yeah, it was miserable, Well, each year after that, which wouldn't have been too many years, he would force me. By then he was stalking me, threatening me, terrorizing me. He would force me to take him to it was called Kaboom Town in Addison, Texas. And you talk about too much traffic, way too much traffic. You sit hours in traffic afterwards just to get home, just to get a few miles. Okay, terrible. And it was be so jam-packed, no real place to sit, the heat, all that kind of stuff again, and no porta potties or Johnny on the spot, whatever you call them. None of that. No place to get anything to drink. Of course, I would have something to drink with me, all this kind of stuff. But just to get out of that in case of an emergency, forget it. Forget it. Anyway, it was there was no enjoyment for me at all. And here is this man who's threatening me. He wasn't just threatening me, by the way. And, forcing me to take him there, go through this with him. No enjoyment, watching the fireworks in Kaboom Town. It's a big thing. And, but it was so much hell, really, seriously, because of this sociopath. And I remember one of the years, I think it was the last one, he he got angry with me because they want to do something and they want it done now. They want it done yesterday even. And when they say do this, at least this type did, they say do this, you better do it. Or there's threat and possibly even an outcome like this one. He, I don't remember if he put a lit cigarette on my shirt and somewhere like there was a crease or something and I didn't know it, or threw it at me and I didn't know it. But yeah, this he was a big man, by the way. I'm not saying like fat. He was just strong, tall, and I remember thinking back then that his upper arms were as big as my upper legs, but maybe they were actually bigger. Okay, really, seriously. And I'm not a weak person. I'm a tall, call myself a gentle giant. I'm not skinny. I'm not real like lean tall either. But anyway, yeah, he was a strong man and he had that attitude, and it was, fear. It was constant fear. And your mind, at least mine did, just went weird. It was survival mode, but with a constant threat. A constant middle of the night phone call. The things he said to me, some of the things that he said he would do to me, and not only me, but other people I knew, were just horrendous. They were full of terror. And yeah, I know everybody's probably thinking, why didn't she call the police? Like I said earlier, I think. Yeah, I had my reasons. Oh my goodness. And actually there was one time that well, I didn't call the police, but that's another story for another day anyway. But yeah, he would do things like that, get me out in front of these people and start threatening me, yelling at me if I didn't do this or do that. He was going to do this or that to me, to anybody I knew, loved ones, whatever, certain people. He had that. Yeah, it was a really bad time. And then one of the things I'm noticing is I want to tell these stories. I did put a couple of videos on one of the channels about why I want to tell these stories, and some of the things that I'm realizing as I start to get to this point is that some of it I've blocked out. Some of it, like the ending part of it, the last 6 months, some of that I've blocked out. It might be I don't remember, but the feelings and the what led up, what happened and everything, and maybe they'll come out as time goes by. But yeah, I'm having flashbacks, of course. And I had done a video, when was it, 2 years ago, saying that I don't really want to go into one story, but I feel like I need to now. I don't want to repeat the same stuff in every video, by the way, but I probably will have to repeat some stuff, just for a video to flow. But anyway, I do have my comments off. Yeah, nobody's going to say, well, you should have done this, you should have done that, and interrupt me and say they know better, and like I did a video about that. Tell the punchline to the story, something, and there's no punchline. This was not a joke, but this was real. It was real. It was unfortunately very real. And yeah, so anyway, I think I'll wrap it up. If you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle. If you're watching a video on this channel, click one of the rectangles. Like, subscribe, and share on your own social media if you would, and I'll talk to y'all in another